wanted to review this episode in my last video, as it's the last one with Sagi, excelent. But since I'm a lazy slob who watches unhealthy girly anime, I decided to leave it for later. And here I am, finally touching upon this weird, risky adventure with a clueless blonde teenage girl. I know it sounds a bit dirty, and yet Sailor Moon is indeed a perverted show. Like they spend a fan service and subliminal messages thrown around each episode. It's as if even has a shower scene. The chick in question isn't at all, however. Yet the whole scene looks really out of place in a comedy romance show for young girls. I don't want to play the scene because it has some weird relief stuff covering her body in a shower, so I have to take my word for it and simply watch the anime. Sailor Moon is indeed one of the titles you have to watch if you want to be a true otaku. There's so much history and art in Sailor Moon that influenced the industry and fundamentally shaped anime archetypes.
Hey, listen, Ami, you want to go play some video games with me?
Okay, but I've never played one.
Don't worry about that.
This is a romance story even fat bros like me can get behind. It also has a lot of eye candy to keep myself busy while listening to some boring complaints of social life. It's kind of weird how both her parents are alive and well. They're even home sometimes and seem to have a healthy relationship.
Oh, you're such a flatterer, dear. Open wide.
Normally in anime, one of them bites the dust before the show starts. I guess Usagi is one of the more fortunate, beautiful protagonists the industry has to offer. She has a good family, except for her younger brother, who's a total jerk.
Oh, how dare you talk to me like that! That's it! Sailor Vacant!
This episode, however, we focus more on her best friend, the redhead classmate who has been around her ever since the beginning of the series. It's now more prominent Kata, well, until the other Sailor Guardians are being introduced and she becomes irrelevant again.
Fire! Soul!
I like the dance routine. It reminds me of my youth, as I was dancing with my older sister. The choreography is whack, and even the singing is not exactly something to be proud of.
Enough with all that screeching!
Hey, what do you mean, screeching?
That duet does not work for long, and they both go their separate ways and become rivals for the coming competition. Yeah, the evil spirit has taken control of a famous idol, and it's now stealing energy from enthusiastic amateurs. I also like Usagi's encounter with Mamoru. This time he was a bit more gentle and nice. Usagi managed to finally have the last word and deliver a witty closing line.
Ugh, go buy a new outfit.
This moment was clever. Kashi is indeed right about his appearance. He eventually transforms into a Dexter mask and gets all suave, dark and sexy, but as a civilian, he dresses kind of mundane. Honestly, before I move on to the next episode, I do not appreciate how stereotypically gullible and naive the nerdy guy from the class is portrayed to be.
Oh, really? Good for him. Darn you, Umino. I'm so gonna get you for this. Ooh.
He's a fan of Usagi ever since the beginning, and at first I thought he stuck to the mask, and Mamoru is just a clever decoy of the true romance. Well, the show does not go that road, and he's simply a weirdo who idolizes Usagi.
I believe that the next big star from our school to follow in Mikan's footsteps will be...
This time Umino was even convinced to wear drag and makeup to perform a dance with Usagi's best friend.
You got that right, girlfriend.
Don't do it now, you'll give the act away.
Yeah, I guess he's having fun. I can't stop but feel compassion for his naivety.
This is the miracle of romance!
Thus we get more Sailor Guardians in the show, as Usagi is indeed gorgeous and fun main Kata, but she could use some companions to her adventure. As always, the first reaction to any obstacles or problem for Usagi is to cry and whine like an entitled little princess.
If there's a top of a class, there has to be a bottom too, so I'm actually helping by making those kids look good.
Because of her great and overall performance at school, Usagi is very unfortunate to be blonde, dumb, and a bimbo. Her gorgeous look and cuteness won't get her high grades, so she actually has to study or cheat to increase her miserable score. Even so, she still does not take this matter seriously and prefers to waste time and read manga, where Luna alone remains the voice of reason.
Hey, you're just reading manga!
Being on the subject of grades and how they impact your life, this is the episode that introduced Ami Mizuna, aka Sailor Mercury.
I hear she's been taking classes at the Crystal Seminar.
She's the smartest girl in school and is always alone. She rejects people and prefers to study, which is exactly the opposite type of behavior Usagi has displayed until this very moment. Knowing she might need some sort of guidance, Usagi has decided to befriend her and get the opportunity for a better understanding of her subjects. I like this selfish and manipulative way of thinking. It makes her look like a two-faced opportunist. And she's a blonde princess, therefore she can get away with it.
If we became friends, then maybe she could help teach me how to ace my tests.
Usagi.
They end up playing this arcade Venus game, and I gotta say I really like how the show is billing Sailor V. She already sounds like a legend, and having so many references to her name that to match her merchandise makes the world of Sailor Moon feel alive and interactive.
It must be so cool to be Sailor V.
When she finally makes an appearance, the show reaches its peak. The hype was real. It was so damn rewarding to see the story deliver on its premise. But before we get the slender, beautiful blonde, you first have to introduce Sailor Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. From all the females, Mars is my favorite. She has the best transformation sequence. When it comes to Sailor Mercury, I said I don't like her that much. She's a silent kudere archetype that Neon Genesis Evangelion also adapted in Rei.
Hello. So you're Rei Ayanami, the pilot of the prototype.
I guess there's a market for silent, shy, and static girls. I have to mention how Evangelion completely stole from Sailor Moon. Not only is Rei Ayami very unlike Ami Mizuno, but Asuka Langley is also a fearsome, unspoken, almost rival-like character, similar to how Rei Hino ended up being towards Usagi.
Information. Hey, don't pull so hard. Calm down, girls.
Alright, back to talking about episode 8. I also like the encounter with Mamoru. Even though he's not featured as Tuxedo Mask, he still has a rather spontaneous and meaningful conversation with our female protagonist. Mamoru catches Usagi in the act as she's talking with Luna, and starts to be suspicious of their affair.
Whatever. But more importantly, was that cat just talking to you?
It was a comedic moment, if anything, but still, interactions like this made the show so much fun to watch. And here we are, Sailor Mercury finally makes her debut with her awesome naked dance. Yeah, they changed the colors of the background, but this is as risky as a TV show for kids can get. Not complaining, because I appreciate youth and beauty. I'm an artist after all.
I happen to be a serious artist who's inspired by youth and beauty, that's all!
Just saying that Sailor Mercury is one awesome and gorgeous looking addition to the show. One more thing, the reason why apples fall from the tree is not because of gravity.
Come on, it's because the Earth has gravity.
Fine, because Earth has gravity.
It's because of the magnetic field surrounding the flat Earth we live on. This show is clearly outdated. Thank God it at least had the internet.
The internet, it's a series of tubes that connects people's computers.